Ma'am.
Yes. Uttara.
Yes, ma'am. A warm good evening to all. Respected Chief Guest, Principal Sir, beloved teachers, and my dear friends. I'm Uttara Suresh, and I would like to welcome you all to the first webinar, Steel Frame of India, conducted by NISARGA, the 65th College Union of Mathia Plus Training College, as part of the Civil Service Day celebrations 2021. As all the beginning should, as all the beginning should evoke the blessing from the God Almighty, let's have a prayer. I welcome Roshna Marian Epen for the prayer song.
अस्माकं तादसर्वेश्वरा स्वर्गलोकमधिष्ठिता पूज्यतां भवतो नाम राज्यमायदत्तावकम् असतो मा सर्गमया तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमया मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमया ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
Thank you, Reshma, for filling light inside us with your heavenly voice. Now, as our guest is a little bit late because she had an interview, she's on the way. Now, our dearest GB teacher will give an introduction or give about a short speech about the significance of the day, the National Civil Service Day. GB ma'am, please.
Yes. A warm good evening to one and all. Today, we are celebrating the National Civil Service Day. So, we B.Ed students, teacher educators often ask many questions. How should I prepare this civil service exam? What's the eligibility of the civil service exam? How can I clear this civil service exam? Whether 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year is sufficient. So, today we have a chief guest, Dr. Advocate Jyoti Vijay Kumar, who is a faculty in Academy of Civil Service, and she's a guest faculty in almost all the civil service coaching center, and she bears a lot of feathers in her cap. So at the outset, I would like to congratulate the union members for celebrating the National Service Day, because most of the teacher training colleges, they are not, they keep this civil service day as insignificant as some others program. Okay, most of us see this as IAS exam or IPS exam or IFS exam. What's the actual name of this exam? Can you answer? This is CSC or Civil Service Exam, conducted by UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. We all know about the PSC, and the central PSC is UPSC. This UPSC is conducting the Civil Service Exam. Now, I would like to talk about the eligibility. എന്താണ് യോഗ്യത? സിവിൽ സർവീസ് പരീക്ഷ എഴുതാനുള്ള യോഗ്യത എന്താണ്? Ma'am, Dr. Jyoti Vijay Kumar joined. Ma'am, I am a filler. Sorry. I just want to talk some facts about the significance of the day. Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. So,
ഞാൻ ഒന്ന് ചോദിച്ചോട്ടെ, നല്ല ഇടി ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, പ്രശ്നമുണ്ടോ?
ഇല്ല മാം, ഇല്ല, കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
സോറി, ഞാൻ 10 മിനിറ്റ് താമസിച്ചതില്.
ഒട്ടും താമസിച്ചില്ല മാം. സോ മൈക്ക് മാമിന് ഹാൻഡ് ഓവർ ചെയ്യാണ് മാം. സോറി.
ഇപ്പോഴുള്ള കുട്ടികൾ മുഴുവൻ MCOMന്റെ MTTയിലെ ഇപ്പൊ എല്ലാവരും എത്ര കുട്ടികളുണ്ട് മാം? 92.
93. Yes.
എനിക്കൊന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് ഒന്ന് അവരുടെ ഒരു ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ തരൂ മാം.
ടീച്ചർ അവര് എല്ലാവരും PG ഡിഗ്രി കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ ഈ കോഴ്സിന് വന്ന് ചേർന്നിരിക്കുകയാണ്. മലയാളം, ഇംഗ്ലീഷ്, ഫിസിക്കൽ സയൻസ്, ഫിസിക്സ്, കെമിസ്ട്രി, ബയോളജി, ബോട്ടണി, സുവോളജി, അതുപോലെ സോഷ്യൽ സയൻസ്, മാത്സ്, എല്ലാ ഗ്രൂപ്പുകാരും എല്ലാ ഓപ്ഷണൽസ് എടുത്ത് പഠിക്കുന്നവരും ഈ കൂട്ടത്തിലുണ്ട്. ഏതാണ്ട് 21 ഇയേഴ്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞവരാണ് ഇവര്. ആ ഒരു സിവിൽ സർവീസ് എഴുതാനുള്ള പാകത്തിൽ നിൽക്കുന്നവരാണ്.
മാം ഞാൻ ഏത് ലാംഗ്വേജ് കംഫർട്ടബിൾ?
You can use both the languages. രണ്ടും പറയാം. മലയാളം പറഞ്ഞാലും it's more comfortable. And so some people are there from outside Kerala. അതുകൊണ്ട് കുറച്ച് ഇംഗ്ലീഷും കൂടെ പറയാം.
Okay. Ma'am, thank you so much. And personally, I want to tell you one thing in the beginning. MTT is the place where my sister Christy was the principal for a long time. She is someone very close to my heart, like, who from the age of 16 who has been a mentor. Now also I'm constantly in touch with her. So MTTയുടെ അടുത്താണ് ഞാൻ 5 വർഷം പ്രീ ഡിഗ്രി തൊട്ട് ഡിഗ്രി വരെയുള്ള സമയം 5 വർഷം സർവോദയ ഹോസ്റ്റലിലാണ് മാറിവാൻസിൽ പഠിക്കുമ്പോൾ. MTT അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ബദനിക്കുന്നിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും വന്നാൽ വിത്തൗട്ട് having those nostalgic memories, it's very difficult to talk about it. Another thing I have to remember, Laji. Laji is my classmate. എനിക്ക് ഇന്നും ആ ദിവസം ഓർക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. That thought has still not, എന്താ പറയാ, കസിൻസ് അങ്കിൾ. ലാജി ഇല്ലയെന്ന് വിശ്വസിക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നില്ല. 3 വർഷം എന്റെ ക്ലാസ്മേറ്റ് ആയിരുന്നു. ലാജി പോയ സമയത്ത് അവിടെ വന്നിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഇപ്പോഴും എന്താ പറയാ, MTT ഓർക്കുമ്പോ അവിടെ നോക്കുമ്പോ ലാജി ഓർക്കാണ്ട് ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാണ്. I don't know what to say more. Anyway, thank you for the opportunity. It is like I am not very good at online communication because I can't see any of your faces. And actually,
മാം ഒന്ന് ഇന്ററപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്ത് മാമിന്റെ വെൽക്കം ഞങ്ങൾ പെൻഡിങ്ങിൽ വെച്ചേക്കാണ് ബിഫോർ സ്റ്റാർട്ടിംഗ് ദ ക്ലാസ്. 2 സെക്കൻഡ് അല്ല സാരില്ല മാം, 2 സെക്കൻഡ് ഒന്ന് അവര് ഒന്ന് കാണിച്ചോട്ടെ. ഒരു 2 വാക്ക് പറഞ്ഞോട്ടെ മാം. ആഫ്റ്റർ ദാറ്റ് യു ക്യാൻ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ദ ക്ലാസ്. ഓക്കെ.
So now I welcome Gayatri YS for the welcome speech.
Thanks, Uttara. Respected Principal Dr. K.Y. Bendict, sir, a guest of honor, Advocate Jyoti Vijayakumar, ma'am, Union Advisor Dr. G.V. Givargis, ma'am, teachers, students, and other participants. Good evening, one and all. I feel honored to be a part of this great session that is coming to manifestation amidst all the chaos that is happening around us. So it's my pleasure to welcome you all to this event on behalf of our 65th College Union, NISARGA. Our guest of honor, Advocate Jyoti Vijayakumar ma'am, doesn't require any introduction as we are marveled by her 5-brand translation of live political speeches. She is a multifaceted personality who has pulled off a multitude of roles. She is the faculty in sociology at the Kerala Civil Services Academy, translator, orator, and a lawyer. Moreover, she was a sub-editor, content analyst, lecturer, anchor, and whatnot. We are extremely delighted to have you with us. Ma'am, with great pleasure, I welcome you to this session. Leadership. Thank you, ma'am.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry. Yes.
It's okay. Leadership is the capacity to translate a vision into reality. With this note, I would like to welcome our principal, Dr. K.Y. Bendict, sir, who has been our pillar of strength and support. Sir, I welcome you to this session. Next, I would like to welcome our union advisor, Dr. G.B. Givargis, ma'am, who has been a great support and succor for all our endeavors. In fact, this session is a brainchild of G.B. ma'am. Ma'am, I welcome you to this session.
Thank you.
Without further ado, I would like to welcome all the teachers, students, academicians, and participants from various institutions and our own college to this session. A warm welcome to one and all. I appreciate you all for finding time to part of this event. Once again, I warmly welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Gayatri, for your warm speech. Now it's time for the most awaited talk by our respected speaker, Advocate Jyoti Vijayakumar ma'am. She is very familiar to all of us, though let's see a small introduction video about her.
Oh,
Yes, ma'am. We have one.
there was no need of all these things. Yeah.
Jyoti Vijayakumar, daughter of a congressman, D. Vijayakumar. She is well known for her excellent and fluent live translation for Rahul Gandhi's speeches. During 2014 Lok Sabha election, she was given the responsibility to translate Rahul Gandhi's speech, which gained her immense popularity. In 2016, she also translated for Sonia Gandhi. A lawyer by profession and also a faculty in sociology at the Kerala State Civil Services Academy and the NSS Academy of Civil Services, Thiruvananthapuram. She is a member of various mock interview panels for students who have cleared UPSC mains since 2017. She completed her diploma in journalism from the Press Club Thiruvananthapuram and was also the first female chairperson of Mar Ivaniers College.
Thank you.
Uttara.
With immense pleasure, ma'am, we welcome you for your talk. Thank you.
താങ്ക് യു. രണ്ട് കറക്ഷൻസ് ഉണ്ട് വീഡിയോയില്. ഒന്ന്, ഞാൻ അഡ്വക്കേറ്റ് വിജയകുമാറിന്റെ മാത്രം മകളല്ല, ഐ എം ദ ഡോട്ടർ ഓഫ് രാധിക വിജയകുമാർ ഓൾസോ. അത് നമ്മളെല്ലാം നമ്മുടെ അമ്മമാരെ പലപ്പോഴും മറന്നു പോകും. വി ഗെറ്റ് ഇൻട്രൊഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് ഓൺലി ആസ് എ ഫാദേഴ്സ് ഡോട്ടർ, ബട്ട് ഐ എം ഈക്വലി പ്രൗഡ് ടു ബി നോൺ ആസ് മൈ mom's daughter also. So like I would want to say that I'm Jyoti Radhika Vijaykumar, my mother is also daughter. Another thing, it was not only Rahul Gandhi, it was Priyanka Gandhi also. We shouldn't forget another woman. This time it was more of Priyanka Gandhi's. So we need to remember that too. And another thing is, more than all these things, I am the mother of a 9-year-old boy, Govardhan. I can't, that without him, that introduction is not complete. So thank you for that. ഞാൻ പറയുന്നത് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് audible? Are you audible?
Yes, ma'am, very audible. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Because all of you are here, like first thing I want to tell you, my official name is Jyoti Vijayakumar, but my FB name and most of the occasions where it is informal, I use the name Jyoti Radhika Vijayakumar, because, I would like you also to think about it as a message, because most of us live in a society where we don't give due importance to our moms. So that has to change. Actually, my son's full name is Govardhan Aman Jyoti. So I have added my name also because I want him also to take pride in the fact that he is the mother, he is a son of a mom also, a woman also. So with that note, it is quite unexpected. We are starting the session. GB ma'am, ഞാൻ ഇങ്ങനെ പറയണമെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചില്ല, പക്ഷെ this happened so. So we are...
Thank you, ma'am. That's a great message, ma'am. Yeah.
നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതുപോലെ ഞാൻ തുടക്കത്തിലെ നിങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെ there are how many boys and girls are here, I am not aware of the exact bifurcation, but all of you, all girls, like when by the time you get married, you change your name to your, you have to have a rethinking about whether you need to do that, whether you have an identity of your own, whether you want to change your identity just after marriage. And if you want to do so, ask your partners also to add your names to their names. Is it fair? The boys, the boys who are there, they might not be comfortable, but society, I think there will be a time, after some time, we'll be in a society where, like, after marriage, if you want to change your name, the boy would add girl's name, girl would add boy's name. That is fair. We have to stand for equality, and we have to stand against all practices which are, which deny equality in society. Yeah, now I'm sorry for being a bit late because we are having. I think this is the right time to talk to you about civil service because we are going through. Now for the past 1 week, except a few days in between, we are having a series of mock interviews. Like I'm doing it it was in the Civil Service Academy in the morning. So this is the right time to talk to you about civil services. If there is this is not a formal talk. നിങ്ങൾ ഒന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കണം. How many of you are there who do not? I'm always afraid of mock interview, ma'am. Vijay Karthik. I'll come to that. Maybe we'll start with mock interview. So how many of you are there who don't understand Malayalam? If in between I switch over to Malayalam, is there anybody who has a problem? You can message me, throughout the conversation. If there is me, Vijay has a problem, only a few, Hima, okay, then it's okay. No, in between I'll be maximum communicating in English. So what happens is that now this is not a very formal conversation. First you need to, because this is not, when you are here, like 98 of you are here, we are spending maybe half an hour, 45 minutes or 1 hour. This time should be beneficial for you. It should not be like you are just coming, you are having a seminar, you just attended a seminar and you just go back. No, this half an hour or 35 minutes should be of some use to you. You should get something out of it. So I will not tell you something that is prepared. I'll tell you what I have in my mind and heart from my experience. Basically, what makes me eligible to talk on this subject is I was a civil service aspirant in 2002. From 2002, then in 2004, I cleared my first prelims. I was in Delhi preparing for that. I wrote mains with sociology, then I didn't clear. Then 2008, again, I wrote my, third, it was the second serious attempt and the third attempt. By the time age was over, I couldn't write again. I cleared prelims. Then I didn't clear mains. It was also with sociology. Then in between, I was teaching in Chennai in an institute. And from 2012 onwards, I've been continuously handling sociology as an optional, first with the NSS Academy of Civil Services. Then from 2016, a little bit, and 2017 onwards at the Civil Service Academy, State Civil Service Academy, and I've been on the mock interview panel. GB ma'am was also there for a few of the mock interview panels in one of these years, 1 or 2 of the years. So this is my experience to tell you about civil service. So I think that makes me a little bit eligible to talk to you about civil services. First thing, when you want to go for a job, your life is, now we are living at a time of COVID. We have no guarantee about our lives. Today I saw a Facebook post of one of my friends. She was, writing this. The most important thing for us now is to survive. So life is very, very important now. We are going through a very vulnerable situation. Most of the people around us have been going through difficult times, loss of dear ones, health issues, financial issues, lack of jobs. So at this time, there should be something that should, rejuvenate us, that should keep the fire alive in us. So the first thing when you think of your job is what I would feel. All of you are doing your this course here, but when you think of civil service, if I start with telling you what made me not clear the exam, that was basically the fact that I was not passionate about the exam. That is very important for you. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അതിനെപ്പറ്റി you should have what you call a drive in you, a fire in you to clear the service. Lakhs of students write the exam. Lakhs of students want to write the exam. More than thousands write the exam, prelims. Thousands clear. Only a few thousands get selected at the main stage. And finally, for the interview, a few hundreds only. It may not even cross a few thousands. Finally, it will be less than 1,000 who get into the final list. So the most important thing, the first thing you need to understand, you need to internalize it. It is your passion for the subject, passion for the job. Today, while we were having the interview board, like after mock interview, we were having a panel discussion about the aspirants. Most of them, there was a comment like most of them prepare to pass the exam.
not to clear the services or not for the job. It is very important for you. If there is anybody who wants to be in the service, the primary thing, the most important thing is ask yourself whether you have passion for that, whether you yourself want to do it. People will say, well, I was forced to do it because I was good academically. I got good marks. So society thought that this was the best career for me. You should never let your parents, your teachers, and society decide what is best for you. You should know what is best for you. For example, a person who wants to be a singer, you cannot force her to be a civil servant. A person who wants to be a chef, you cannot force him to be a civil servant. So it is basically what excites you, what attracts you, what makes you alive, what sustains the passion in you, what helps you burn the fire in you. So if you have that passion, only go for civil service. You know, yesterday was the civil service day. Why was this day chosen as I was reading about it? I'm interested in civil service. How do I know I have the aptitude for it? Yes, you have to go through the syllabus. I'll introduce you to the preparation and syllabus, then you will understand whether you can handle it. So the second thing, first thing, ask yourself whether you have the passion for it. If you don't have, don't go for the service, because everybody says being a collector, that is a trend, that is a fashion. You get good match, you know, you get more social status, you get celebrity status. Don't go for it. Go for civil service for the right reasons. The right reason should be your heart should be there, because it's a service where you can do a lot for the people. Yeah, I was mentioning why yesterday was celebrated from 2006 onwards. Why are we celebrating this? Because you might also have Googled that a Sardar Patel addressed the first batch of civil servants on this day. And he was mentioning integrity, impartiality, commitment. All these things are the greatest virtues. That those are to be the greatest virtues where you are when you are in any field. The first thing I want to tell you, be passionate about it. Have a fire within. For example, I'll give you my example. I had a friend from Maharashtra. She was from a village in Maharashtra. Her name is Sharda. She was like from a village. Her background was she studied in a government school. She could not even properly say a sentence in English. I also couldn't that time because I did my schooling in Malayalam medium. So I was not very good at English. But she had this problem and she had nobody to support her also. But she was so passionate, so driven. I want to become an IPS officer. She did not clear the first attempt. She went back to Mumbai and she struggled hard. And after years, when I went to Mumbai, she was the ACP there. And I was feeling so proud to see her. So it was her determination and passion that led the way forward, nothing else. This has to happen for all of us. If you're academically very good, if you're very brilliant, if you talk very nicely, if you can master everything, it doesn't mean that you're going to be a civil servant. I have to add one more thing. From the first day till I think today is the 7th day of my mock interviews this year. From the first day I've seen, you have a DAF, detailed application form. In that, you have your parents' qualification, parents' employment. There is one space. I have seen wall painters. I'm telling you this with immense pride. Daily wage laborers, construction laborers, auto rickshaw drivers. These are the people, their children are going to be part of a few of them would clear, 100% visually challenged boy. You know him. He was in Marivanos. And people from coastal areas, students, boys and girls who have studied in local government Malayalam medium schools. They haven't had ICSE CBSE education. Their parents are not doctors, professors, IAS officers. Many of them are writing, they have cleared means and they are appearing for the interview. So your academic background or your parents' background, your economic status, your elite status, these things don't matter. What matters is your passion, whether you're ready to work hard, whether you are ready to spend prime years of your youth for this. That is very important. How many years are you going to spend for this? whether you are going to be, whether you are going to have perseverance, whether when you fail, whether you are going to fall down and get up, because you're not going to, the exam itself takes 1 year. You have to have a minimum qualification of a graduation and 21 years to write the exam. You can Google, you'll get all the details. For general category, 32 years. For SC, there is a little more relaxation. For ABC, little more relaxation. Then in terms of attempts also 6, 9, then there are unlimited attempts. So in terms of attempts and age, there are relaxations in different categories. But the basic thing is the 21 years and you should be a graduate. And there's a prelims exam, which is a kind of elimination exam, which is a qualifying, CSAT. 2 papers. In one, if you're qualified, the other will be, checked. And then you would pass the exam. This is to just get you in. That marks are not added. Objective questions. Second is the mains exam with 9 papers, which is a descriptive exam where you have 4 GS papers, 2 optional papers, 1 essay paper, 1750 marks. Just now there was a message. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah. I'm preparing for civil service. I can have writing skills. How can I improve it? I'll just come to that. Third, Aditya, please wait. I'll just come to your, Aditya and Lovin. I'll come to your questions. Then third thing, you have the interview, 275 marks. If I make some factual mistakes, you please check. 275 marks. This is just, you call it a personality test. That's the third stage, final stage. Now we are training candidates for that. So in these 3 stages, your 3 different skill sets are analyzed. In the first stage, many of you might have written entrance exam and all those, your elimination skill, your vast knowledge. You have a vast syllabus when you talk about India, Indian geography, history, economics, constitution, basic science, current affairs, general arithmetical skills. Everything is important. What you have done, your NCERT syllabus, NCERT textbooks up to 12th standard. Are you getting me? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Are you getting it? If there is any problem, you should let me know. If I need to make any change or improvement, you please let me know. I'll come to the hardcore preparation of it. These are the things
No,
you
ma'am,
get
it's clear
from
cut.
Google also. Pardon? Is there any problem?
No, ma'am, it's clearly audible and clearly understandable.
Okay, fine. So first thing I told you, your passion, then your age, these are technical things I'm talking to about. Third is the 3 different stages of exam. In objective exam, that's the prelims. These are things that, and if for any exam, whether it is prelims, mains, or the final personality test, you have to be thoroughly aware of current affairs. What is going on in and around your district, your state, your country, all over the world? They can ask you anything. Today, for example, I'll give you an example. There was a boy in his biodata CV, you call it detailed application form, DAF. He studied in Gurudev, Gurudev Engineering College. It was in Mahatma Gandhi University. I suddenly asked him about Gurudev. Who is Gurudev? Who's Gurudev? Tagore. Mahatma Gandhi called him Gurudev. So the discussion was about Tagore and Gandhi. And then Tagore's idea of nationalism from Gandhi to Ambedkar. This is the way questions go. So from your biodata, anything could be asked you. So current affairs is very, very important for you to learn. Are you getting me? So there's a vast syllabus. The same case, when you come to mains, there is another thing. When we were writing prelims, we had, for example, we had another subject in prelims also. For example, I had sociology as the optional along with GS. Now it is not like that. Because, in between they try to change the syllabus and they try to modify the pattern of the exam. So now it is CSAT. Then you have mains, 4 GS papers, then 2 optional papers, and then 1 essay and 2 language papers. One is English and the second one is either Malayalam, Hindi, any regional language that you can choose. Sorry. But you think that sometimes many take the regional language very casually. But many of my friends, not many, a few of my friends could not clear because they did not clear the qualifying exam. That is a language paper. So what is important for you? After that, what you're going to do, the exam will start, for example, May end or June. If you have the prelims, you get the results by August, and your mains will be in October. October, you write your mains. I'm giving you tentative dates. October, you write mains. You get your results by March, Feb end. Then you prepare for the interview. Interview will be, by March, mid-April. By April end, and by May first week, the result will come. May 2nd, maybe after 1 week or 10 days of your final result, you will have to write the next prelims. So this is the pattern for the exam. So what do you understand from this? And there are many subjects. They have given a vast list of subjects which you can, choose as your optionals. Many engineering students, medical doctors, many of them choose subjects like geography, sociology, Malayalam literature, public administration, history, etc. You have different optionals. Are you understanding the pattern of the exam? So for you to complete the exam, if you clear everything, it will take 1 year. I'm telling the technical process of the exam. So for you to prepare, how long it would take? It is not, first you need to understand that it will not happen in this case. You have to really prepare. You have to prepare very, very hard for it. And you have to prepare very, with a clear strategy. So 1 year, through 1 year if the exam goes, another 1 year prior to that, 1 year you have to prepare. There are people who have cleared the exam after 6 years of preparation, 7 years of preparation. In the 7th attempt, we were interviewing another aspirant who was writing his 8th prelims. Can you imagine? So this is the journey. This is the duration of the journey. This is the toughness of the journey. It is not cakewalk. It is not a very easy thing. It is something to which you have to put your heart and soul with so much of dedication and commitment. If you're not ready for that, don't jump into it. If you decide to make a foray into it, you have to do it. There's no other way. You have to dedicate this many years for this. And how do you see? First question, how do you see whether you have an aptitude for that? First, if any one of you want to go for the civil service exam, go to UPSC website. First, try to understand the exam. What is it? And, you will understand what is UPSC checking on you. Who is an administrator? Whom does UPSC want? Do I have the necessary requirements or necessary qualities to make a civil, to make myself be considered as a civil servant? You need to ask yourself first. Then go through the question paper, go through the syllabus, go through the mock interviews, go through the interviews of people who have cleared. There is so much of material available on the net. Then you'll have a fair idea of what the exam is. And then what are the qualities that an administrator? It is not just a test of your knowledge. Absolutely not. There are certain qualities that they want in a civil servant. Who are the civil servants? They are the ones who implement, who make policy, who help the executive with the, politician. You have executive, legislature, judiciary. So they help, there's a collaboration between. This is the executive part. Ministers are there. They help with policy. They help. Basically, it's with implementation. You implement the policies of the government, the decisions made by the government. So what are the necessary qualities that a civil servant should have? Decision making. I am really bad I'm not very good at having a one-sided conversation like this. It would have been very nice if we could interact. Even I am not able to find myself on screen. You can see me, no? I can't see me, myself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are visible.
Okay. So I can't see any one of you except, yes, 2 photographs are there. Uttara, Rosh, there. Okay, so All right. Benedict, sir. Good evening, sir. Okay. So the thing is, Aditya has come in. All right. Okay. So what you need to do is, I just lost my thought. Where was I? Yeah, when you're preparing for this, so you need to ask yourself, what are the qualities that you should have? Decision making and analysis. For example, COVID. You cannot talk about COVID only as a health crisis. The related, what you say. For example, I give you an example of how COVID situation has affected the social dynamics. It has, during COVID, the class differences in society have become so evident. Am I right? The upper class could sit at home. People who have fixed jobs could sit at home, work from home. It did not affect their income. What about our migrant laborers? What about our domestic workers? What about auto rickshaw drivers? What about small shopkeepers? What about people working on the payments? Is working from home same for them? For us, sitting at home is a luxury. Think about people in Dharavi, Mumbai slum. In one room, how many are staying? Can they afford to have physical distancing? How many people can have clean water to wash their hands? So COVID has brought out the class inequality in our society. Am I right? Caste differences, cleaning stuff, manual laborers, and those people, you know about Dalits, you know about, manual scavenging. Who does it? Who cleans the manholes? Who does that? There is a caste division in the jobs that we take up. And gender. Today I was at the court. I was asking two of my colleagues who are family court lawyers. They said that during this time, divorce cases, the filing of divorce cases has drastically gone up. It was just in Trivandrum district court, they were telling me. So domestic violence, the reason is domestic violence has gone up. Many women have lost their jobs. So you cannot, child abuse has increased. You cannot consider COVID only as a health issue. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? You want me to speak in Malayalam also? Is this fine?
Yes,
You're
ma'am, it
getting
is fine.
it's
Yes,
fine?
ma'am, we are getting.
Yeah. So when you think of COVID, you need to understand and think about its different dimensions. So any issue, poverty is not only a lack of money. If you're poor, you can't buy a book and read. You can't go to a restaurant and have food. You can't go to a mall and shop. You cannot go to a theater and watch a movie. You are deprived of so many things. Are you getting me? You will not have hi-fi friends. You will not have very secure houses. So you need to think about every issue in a multi-dimensional manner. What is the reason behind it? Then you should be able to be very analytical. You should be a very good decision maker. You should be very objective. You will have biases, your political biases, your religious biases, your biases should not be there. Your primary guide should be the constitution of the country. So you have to, these qualities should be in there to be a civil servant. The exam is checking whether you have all these qualities within you. Exam is not just checking your knowledge. Your knowledge and whatever you know is a medium, is a material to show the examiner that I have these qualities. How do you express that? The way you write that answer. While going through your answer, a person will understand your decision-making skill, your clarity, your conviction, your authenticity, your genuinity, your multidimensional analysis, your analytical skills. Everything would be evident through your answers. So the UPSC is going to check that. Are you getting me? So after going through the syllabus, after going through for example, I understood earlier that I will be a misfit in civil service because I cannot work within a framework. I want, my freedom of thought and expression, it should be there. I can't work in that framework and I cannot obey rules as much as most of the people do. So I found myself a misfit there. So I thought I'm happy that I'm out of that. So you need to ask yourself whether you are there, whether you should be there. This is, I think, this is an answer to whose question? It is Levin. Sorry, Levoy something. I'm sorry, I mispronounced your name. So yeah, are you getting me? Lovin, yes. So you just check whether you have the aptitude for that. Now the third thing. Okay, if you think that you have the aptitude, you have the passion for that, you can handle the syllabus and question papers. What at present, what you can start doing is start reading up. For example, current affairs. It's always, you cannot compromise on that. There is no second thought on that. There is no second opinion also on that. You have to. It's an imperative that you have to focus on your current affairs. Start reading newspapers. Newspapers, for example, an English daily every day is a must. But if you read one newspaper, you will not get. You can start with one newspaper, and I would suggest you read out, because many students from Kerala nowadays, I don't feel that much problem with language, but still, if somebody is there who has a problem with speaking in English, you can start reading loud, so that when you read aloud, you get familiar with the language. And also Malayalam. Never ever neglect your mother tongue, because you need a regional language for the exam also. Not only that, you need to be aware of what is happening locally also. It is like local. It is like what you call globalization. You cannot be a universal citizen with forgetting what is happening in your local area. It has to be a combination. So Malayalam, English, and watch sensible news discussion, not like political discussions where people fight with each other and have so much of and make so much of noise. No, real factual discussions, and use internet for your advantage. Many discussions are there. Many foreign policy topics. There are very good speeches. You watch English channels. Basically, I would suggest NDTV, read Frontline, some magazines. That way, build on your knowledge and go through your NCRT textbooks. For example, Basic Constitution of India, Basic Indian Geography, World Geography, Basic Economic Aspect. Every year budget comes, what are the new provisions or new proposals in the budget, economic survey, new programs by the government. All these things you can, world history, Indian history. These are a must. As long as UPSC exam is there, these topics are going to be there. So you can't escape from that. So that is another thing that is very important, which you can start doing now. On top of that, and after that, after you clear this, after you do this, when you're really, really ready to write the exam, I would suggest you should join an institute. If it's a must for you, you should get guidance from somebody. Because the problem is that, not, I wouldn't use the term problem, but the challenge is that there is so much of material. There is so much you have to study. But it has to be clearly exam oriented. I haven't formally studied sociology. I've studied sociology only for UPSC exam. That's from my Upendra sir in Delhi. I'm always grateful to him for the little sociology that I know. This is not like you write your university exam, even though your PG level syllabus is there. It is like you have to prepare for the exam. You don't have to prepare the subject otherwise. It is not like you prepare for your MA exam or your graduation exam. Because as I told you, your knowledge is just a material or medium to tell the examiner that you have these qualities. Are you understanding what I'm clearly saying? So you have to approach, for example, psychology. GB man is doing that. So psychology you are studying for your MEd exam, BEd exam. That is in a different way, like you do it for UPSC. So you have to approach a subject in the way UPSC wants you to approach. So an institute, a guidance will help you there, and you will also get peer group. Sometimes group study is very important. And I'll tell you one thing. One of the challenges of this exam is my students tell me, ma'am, I'm feeling so depressed. I don't know what to do. I feel like throwing everything and going, because you may feel so much of ups, and I was very tense before my first exam. I went to my sir and told him, sir, I don't know if I don't clear, what will happen? He said, life is not going to end. Your family is not going to throw you out of your house if you don't clear the exam. Be cool, calm. And civil service is not the end of life. This is and one basic lesson that you need to learn. I did not clear this. Even I'm 42 now. People will come and ask me, "You want to write the exam again?" Like I have missed something so, like my life is gone forever. I tell them, no, it was another job. It was good. I learned a lot from people. I'm happy that I'm not in that. If you don't get into civil service, if you prepare and if you don't get into civil service, your life doesn't end. Life is much, 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 much more than that. So don't get too desperate that if failure, you have to be one thing that you have to be very clear is you have to be prepared to face failure. That is very, very important in this exam. You'll clear prelims, you'll clear mains, interview you may lose for 2 marks, nothing. Then you have to start from zero. You will start again from prelims. There are people who clear all prelims continuously, 4, 5 prelims, but they won't even make one mains. There are students who clear 5, 6, 7 mains, but interview not even one. Are you getting me? So this is a very, very dicey game, unpredictable. You have to understand the nature. And while preparing so much of syllabus, so much of competition, you're not going anywhere, you're staying away from your family, exam is coming, you may get frustrated, you may have mental tensions, everything. But when there's an up, there's a down thing, you just have to manage that. That is also very, I think I'm taking too long. I'll just wind up soon. So during the preparation, you have to prepare yourself to be on a path which is very, it is not a very smooth ride. So first, be prepared to face failure. Be prepared to face the unpredictability of the exam. Be prepared to face the inconsistencies in the exam. All of you are, for example, 81 are here, 82. All of you are writing, maybe even 2, 3 may clear. What about the rest? You write other exams, and the preparation will help you in so many ways. Many of them are writing KAs now. KAs is also that's a good opportunity for you. Many of them get into IEB, many of them get into other services, block development offices. There are so many other jobs. And many of them, for example, I'll tell you personally what experience. I was, till 2020, 2002, before I started preparing for civil service, before I went to Delhi, I consider myself a Malayali. When I went to Delhi, I became, after civil service profession, I started thinking of myself as an Indian. And when I prepared sociology, I started thinking of myself as a human being. Are you getting me? The evolution that will happen to you, that is tremendous. So wherever you're going, whichever job you're going to do, even if you're not working, even if you're a homemaker, when I say homemaker, both men and women, if you choose to sit at home, you're going to be a wonderful human being. You're going to be an enlightened human being whose knowledge is going to help society a lot in so many ways. So if you're preparing, the preparation is not going to be something that you're going to lose at any point in time. This preparation is going to add value to your mind, your heart, your society. So what are you going to get from this preparation is, I cannot measure it in words. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? But you should be very practical when you prepare for the exam. I come to the next point. That is your mental ability. First is passion, second is strategy. First, for that strategy, I know many students who work very, very, very hard, 16 hours a day, but they don't make it. Why? Because the preparation is not strategic. For example, another person sleeps. You read an interview of the topper. Topper says, I was sleeping for hardly 4 hours. So tomorrow you start sleeping for only 2 hours, 3 hours a day. You might be a person who needs to sleep for 10 hours or 9 hours. But 9 to 10 you can't afford. At least 7 you need. Then only your brain will work. I can't run without sleep. You understand. So you need to understand what is best for you. Don't imitate anybody blindly. This will not help you anywhere. So understand the exam. See, I'm going to write in for like 2023, I'm going to write. So 2 years are in front of me. What am I going to do? What is the strategy? Which are my good areas? Am I good at prelims? Here, Aditya, since last August, I'm preparing for, I cannot improve my answer writing skills. Writing is my problem. Your writing has to be very simple, coherent, answering to the question. It has to be logical. It should be like multidimensional. It should take you from one point to another. This is the way you should write an answer. Is it the way you are writing your answers? You need to ask yourself. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say?
Ma'am, I
So
have a
which is,
doubt, ma'am.
yeah.
Ma'am, when I writing my answer on GS paper 1, I include, in art and culture, I include various crafts, architecture, monuments, and so on. And I also included some flowcharts. But when compared to polity, I can't express my own ideas regarding the question.
It depends on the question, Aditya. It is like, GS, it is important that, you communicate the points rather than you being very elaborate. You use flow charts, you use various diagrams, tables, etc. to communicate. And it varies from subject to subject. And I'm not a very good person to comment on GS because I'm not training on GS. I'm doing it only on sociology with optionals. So GS answers, it depends on maybe you can, after this, you can have a you can get my number from ma'am. I'll connect you to somebody who handles GS. That person can better answer your question. Is it fine, Aditya?
Yes, ma'am, it's fine.
Yeah. So are you getting me? So like after you clear prelims, you need to write, you need to write on your, you need to work on your writing skills. And then another thing, you need to start, very, very important thing. Today, like we were giving feedback to many students, we are telling, be original, be authentic, be yourself. Whatever you say, feel it. Just don't mother pantsers and say, what you speak, what comes from your heart. Because we want to see you, the real you. So you just be yourself. You start practicing that. And you develop your own opinion. You think about COVID. What would we have done better? You ask yourself, you read from various sources and then formulate your opinion. There is nothing wrong or right in your opinion. Maybe somebody would disagree with you or agree with you, but you start the process of thinking. That is very, very important. And also practice. I'm coming to mock interview. Yeah, Karthik. Yeah, I think it was Karthik. He was talking about mock interviews. In mock interviews, it is not that, for example, you are talking about 20 answers. You don't know. I don't know, ma'am. I'm sorry. I don't know, sir. I'm sorry. You say only one answer right, but we will appreciate your intellectual honesty rather than you bluffing. Are you getting me? When you don't know anything, say, I'm sorry, I don't know. I'm not a superhuman. I will not know. If I ask you some questions, you may also not know. If you ask me 100 questions, I'll bluff. I'll not be able to give you an answer. So it is normal and human not to know about certain things. That's absolutely fine. But practice intellectual honesty. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. Are you getting me? And have the audacity to say that, have the confidence and the honesty and truthfulness to say that. And whatever comes from your heart, because it's very important to be yourself. Nobody else can be like, others. There's something very unique and special in each one of us. You be the way you are. And you think your own thoughts. There might be something special that the Indian Administrative Service or the Civil Service needs from you. That may be your pleasant personality. That might be your rational thinking. That may be your quick decision making. Something will be there. So don't try to imitate others and be someone else, but be yourself. And preparation is very, very important. With a preparation, nothing happens. You understand hard work. For example, I give you my personal example. You talked about translation. Translation doesn't work without preparation. The people I am translating, whenever they speak, I listen to their speeches all throughout the year, and I'll understand the general words that they use. I'll note down those words. I'll try to find Malayalam words for them. Whenever I read an English article, I'll try to find Malayalam words. So it's an ongoing process. Without that, suddenly it will not come to your mind. You watch those people clearly, their camera, their videos, and you observe their expressions, and then you catch, this might be something that might have gone into their mind. So nothing will happen without preparation. Spontaneity also has so much of hard work behind it. Civil service is not a cakewalk. Without hard work, you can't clear. But it is not only hard work, it is also strategic work. So you understand, you analyze yourself first, understand yourself. I'm good at this, not good at this. My writing has to improve, my thought process has to improve, my analytical skills have to improve. The way I think, my language has to improve, my verbal communication has, some people are very good in speaking, but writing, They score very little. Some people are very, very good at writing, but when they are able to verbally communicate, there is a difficulty. So you work on yourself, you understand yourself. And the most important thing I would like to tell you, the most important thing is that you need to work on your core. I ask questions mostly on gender, caste, and when you say patriarchy is there, there's so much of inequality, we need to change. But you don't feel it. So the most important thing for you, it is not only as a service aspirant, I'm asking you, as future teachers who are going to shape the generation, as human beings, as as citizens of the country, as brothers and sisters and friends and individuals, what I request you is, it is very important that we cultivate an equality consciousness in our mind. Every human being is equal, irrespective of their caste. The discrimination that is happening across the country in the society in the name of caste. I don't need to explain much about that. The discrimination in terms of class. Think about, like, we are having this, I have this laptop, you are having this online facility, you are studying in that sense. So think about those who don't have food today, who do not have access to hospital beds. Think about them. Think about the girls of your age who are married without how many children, I don't know, who are being harassed for dowry, gender discrimination, girls who are being attacked by throwing acid, who are being raped, murdered, female infants who are being killed, who are not allowed to be born, infanticide, feticide, rape, murder, kidnapping. Think about all these things. Atrocities against Dalits, tribals, people who do not have income, who are not able to sit, talk to you on par with you. I think you have to have people of different religions who are being discriminated against in the name of because of their names. I think you have to, if you aspire to be a civil servant, you have to think beyond all these things. Your religion, your caste, your gender, everything should be based on humanity. You will have your religious affiliation. GB ma'am, am I taking too much? I'll close within 5 minutes, GB ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right. So you have to become an individual. You have to, that thought should come within you. Everybody is equal. I'm not superior to anyone. I'm not inferior to anyone. As a girl, I have to practice. I have to think that I'm equal to all. As a boy, I have to think that any girl is not less than me. If you belong to a caste which is hierarchically up, you need to think that people belonging to the lower strata in this hierarchy, not even, I am privileged. I'm fortunate enough to have money. I'm fortunate enough to have educated people, but it doesn't make another person lesser than me. A person who is belonging to another religion is not my enemy. A person who is not belonging to another political party is not my enemy. We are all together. We are equals. That has to go deep within your heart. If that is not there, there's no point in you becoming a civil servant. Because if you can't empathize with others' problems, if you don't get tears when you see a genuine problem, there's no point in becoming a civil servant, because the decision you are going to make is going to impact the lives of so many. So be in civil service for the right reason. That is not for the fame, that is not for the publicity, that is not for the social media adulation, not for the media adulation that you're going to get, not for the celebrity status, not for the perks, not for the these years of service and salary that you're going to get, but you're going to make a difference in a person's life. Very, very common people who have nobody else to look up to. So think, as a district collector, what difference could you bring? Think as an IPS officer, and in any service, IFS officer, just think about that and ask. I'll just conclude. Ask whether you have the passion for that. Don't do it for anybody else, but do it for yourself. If you're passionate about it, go through the exam, understand the exam, go through the syllabus, go through UPSC website, go through previous interviews, go through question papers, then see what are the qualities that I have and what are the qualities that I need to work upon. Then work on that. Have a strategic preparation. Focus on current affairs from now onwards, and the static subject like geography, history, constitution, all those things start reading now. basic arithmetic. And then while you're preparing, choose a subject which is good for you as an optional. Then after some time, get proper guidance, join an institute, and be mentally prepared to face the ups and downs in the exam. Be prepared to face failure in this exam. And if you're failing in the exam, it is not failure. There's nothing called failure. It's all learning experience. I failed enough in everything. Every time I go up, I go down, I go. But that's the journey. That's the beauty of the journey. You learn from it. So take life in a very positive way, that everything is going to be working good for you. And most importantly, you live life your fullest potential as an individual who charts your own path, not by society's diktats, but by what you are, what you want to be. And when you're happy, content, and when you're passionate about what you're doing, you will inspire a lot many people. And you don't need to be necessarily in the civil service to help society. Whatever you do, if you are a passionate teacher, if you're passionate about the children, if you can guide them in the right way, you're doing a great service to the society. So if you wish to be civil servants, be there. We are there to help you out. Ma'am is there. You can, anybody who wants that, you can reach out to us. And one more thing regarding gender, regarding caste, it's very important to be human beings who are equal, who consider others equal. You are not above anybody, you are not below anybody. Everybody has got talent, everybody has got skill. That respect has to come within you, beyond religion, beyond caste, and beyond gender. If I talk about gender, I will not stop today. So I have so many things to, and whatever you say, you practice in your life. If you don't practice, there is no change is not going to happen. And be very, very smart girls and boys, youngsters who have your opinions of your own, who say very firm no's, who stand by your values and principles, who stand for yourself, who stand for the society around you, and you inspire and change the world. I really, really hope that as teachers, civil service, and servants, and you're going to be in various professions, you're going to inspire the world in ways that we can't imagine. So I'm very, very happy to talk to you. Thank you, GB ma'am, for the opportunity. I'm not very satisfied because I don't think I've been able to communicate enough with you, and I've not been able to see many of your faces also. So I hope we'll meet up directly later. GB ma'am, did I speak enough like you expected?
Of course, you spoke well explained. And I think Dr. George John is there.
Hello, Jyoti Vijaykumar.
Oh, sir, how are you?
I am your senior in Marivanis College. The talk was really good. The talk was really good, and your English is really poetic. And I have recorded your speech for listening to it once and time and again. I would like to improve my command of English language.
അല്ല ഞാൻ ഒരു കാര്യം നിങ്ങളോട് കുട്ടികളോട് പറയാൻ, ബിക്കോസ് ഐ കെയിം ഫ്രം, ഞാനൊരു നാട്ടുമ്പുറത്ത് സ്കൂളിൽ നിന്നാണ് വരുന്നത്. വി നെവർ, മൈ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് ബുക്ക് ഐ റെഡ് ഇൻ മാറിവാനിയസ് കോളേജ്, ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് നോവൽ. എനിക്കൊന്ന് അവിടെ ഡിഗ്രിക്ക് പഠിക്കുമ്പോഴാണ് ഐ ഹാഡ് മൈ ഫസ്റ്റ് ഇംഗ്ലീഷ് നോവൽ. എൻ്റെ ആൻഡ് എക്കും, നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മാമിനെ അറിയുണ്ടോന്ന് അറിയില്ല, ആൻഡ് ക്രിസ്റ്റിൻ മൊറേറ മാം ഇരുത്തി എന്നെ കൊണ്ട് ചില വാക്കുകൾ പ്രൊനൗൺസ് ചെയ്യിപ്പിക്കായിരുന്നു. So it is also hard work. Otherwise, it's difficult language. If you have, my English is not that good, but still, even a little bit I can speak. It's through hard work. If you don't practice, it will not come. So everything.
Your translation is also perfect and powerful.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I have listened to your translations. Thank you. Congrats. Congrats to my dear friend Jyoti and Dr. G. and all the union members. Well done. Great program.
Ma'am, here are some questions. Dr. K.Y. Benedict, our principal, has asked some questions. Uttara, can you read it? Uttara?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure. The question is there any mechanism of UPSC to reveal the descriptive answers of successful candidates, top rankers, as a sample for aspiring candidates in the following years?
As such, no. As I am aware, it is not there.
Okay. So one more question from Thames 1996. What are the problems in writing main exams in regional language? is it possible to write main exams in their own language, in Malayalam? Is there any possibility to talk in Malayalam in mock, in interview also?
Yeah, you can choose Malayalam. I know one person who has done that. You can choose Malayalam, but the problem is sometimes it depends on the optional material that you are choosing. Optional subject, GS and all, you will not have enough material to prepare in the regional language. Otherwise, you can choose. That's fine.
Ma'am, one more question is there. How shall I select my optional subject? My PG subject is physics. I don't feel confident in it to choose it as my optional.
Physics, I don't advise it much because I haven't seen many, choosing physics as an optional. You choose your optional, subject by, going by your heart. For example, I tell students, if you feel that, it is like a long-term friend, if you can be with the subject for a long time, if you think that is the best thing, and you go through the syllabus and then you read basic books or ignore books, and then if you feel that I like that subject, it is close to my heart, then choose that. And if your reading materials are available, coaching materials are available, choose that. Otherwise, don't go for a subject randomly.
Okay. Okay. Uttara, shall we move on to the next?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, Jyoti ma'am, thank you. It was indeed an informative and inspiring speech. I think that some people who don't have the aspiration for civil service in the most wildest dreams could have triggered a spark for joining the civil service exam. I think
I
so.
do not
I
want
feel
to
so.
do that, Uttara. I feel that only the right people should come in, who have their right heart in the right place.
Yes, ma'am. We can hope so. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And now I would like to welcome the strong pillar of Matthias Training College, our beloved principal, for special felicitation. Benedict sir, please.
Good evening to one and all. I really appreciate the presence of our Jyoti for your marvelous presentation, very beautiful narration of how to prepare and aspire for to become a civil servant. This seems to be a very different event organized by our college union, because it was an unusual thing in the history of the college to organize the National Civil Service Day. And because of the COVID pandemic, the situation has changed. People cannot come together, but they find occasions how to bypass that kind of difficulties. So the students very intelligently found that they will go with the day celebrations, so that this college union could be able to organize n number of items within a short span of time. With inspiration from Dr. G.B. Giorgis, they decided to go for the National Civil Service Day celebration. I congratulate all the college union members also for making this event to happen. And then I have to recollect some of the points given by Mrs. Jyoti. That one thing is that you have to learn from failures. Being going to be future teachers, this must be a great lesson that we have to give to our students. And second one, you told that don't imitate anyone, be yourself. That's a great message that we can receive from this today's presentation. Moreover, the thing that I have listened from you is that whenever you go for any kind of profession or job, go with some kind of passion behind it, an inner fire from us that must ignite ourselves to flourish into our field, whatever may be, whether it is a civil service or even a teacher in a primary class, or a teacher in any other kind of job. We can see that those who are with that kind of passion are excelling in every field. And Jyoti herself is an example for that kind of passion in her. I still remember the young face of Jyoti when you was a student of Marivanias College, and I often seen you on the roads when when you are campaigning for your election at Marivanias College. And at that time, many occasions you also visited MTTC also occasionally in order to have contact with the people And I have seen that you have had a liaison with the people beyond the party politics. And I think that our older students also were friends of you, so that we got a lot of information about your kind of interaction with all the members of the teaching faculty. And I have seen that you are dealing with Dr. Anthony Pensar in many of the moments of crisis among your political career there in Marivanis College. And I have seen that you have a lot of fans in and out of the college, or even on the main road, MC road. I have seen that people are your fellow students, and including those are interested, are നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ പറയത്തില്ലേ, നമുക്ക് ഈ ഈച്ച പൊതിയുക എന്നൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ സാധാരണ പറയുന്ന ഒരു പ്രയോഗം ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. So that anyway, we appreciate that you came up to that high level with the national level of significance as a former student of Marivanias Vidyanagar, Marivanias College. You are really proud of your achievements and the charisma and the leadership that you are giving, especially as a member of the Civil Service Academy of Government of Kerala. You are inspiring your younger generation in many ways. And we appreciate the kind of natural skills that you exhibit both in English and Malayalam during your translation exercises, and that become a kind of what we call it as the performance testing of an experienced person. So in all this way, we are very, very, very concerned about your career. We wish more heights in the political career also. We actually expected you to be one of the candidates in Vatirkav this year, but unfortunately, you may get your apt chance when there will be a vacuum comes. Everyone has a particular day for any kind of ascending in their career. So we are waiting for that. We, irrespective of the political affiliations and other kind of background, everyone from Marthya Fellows Training College, including our student fraternity, wishing you more heights in your professional career and political career, including your family. Wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Again,
much.
I appreciate the college union members and Dr. G.B. Givargis for inviting Jyoti to our midst. We will have more this kind of occasions for further interactions. And one doubt that I have to raise for the aspirants is that one girl came and asked about how to write the descriptive answer. What she is the writing won't be impressive for the examiner. Is there any practice from the UPSC to publish some of the answers of successful candidates as a sample for the youngsters?
No, sir. We can give them model answers. Ma'am, can you give her my number? She can contact me directly.
Definitely. Okay.
Thank you, Benedicta, for that graceful word. Now it's time for us to wind up the session. So I invite Deepa Benny to have the word of thanks.
Uttara?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. Respected Jyoti ma'am. Our first Home Minister, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, had referred to the civil servants as steel frame of India. From this, we can understand how important bureaucracy is.
Sorry to interrupt, Deepa. Could you please raise the volume a little bit?
Me?
Yes, Deepa, yes. Now it's audible, but at the
okay.
It was
Okay, thank you. Respected Jyoti ma'am, principal, teachers, and all my dear friends. Our first Home Minister, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, has referred to the civil servants as steel frame of India. From this, we can understand how important bureaucracy is for India. So that April 21st is observed as National Civil Service Day for commemorating efforts of civil servants for implementing policies and schemes. Well, the duty bestowed on me is to render thanks to our chief guest, Jyoti Vijaykumar. As we all know, she is a very busy person and she took extra effort to attend this function amidst of her busy daily schedule. Ma'am, thank you very much for your time and for sharing your valuable information regarding civil services exam. And you are such a lovely and a genuine person. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepa.
My sincere thanks to our respected principal, Benedict sir, our union advisor, GB ma'am, Nancy ma'am, who technically supported us to organize this function, and all our teachers and staff of Martha Phyllis College. I would also like to thank Uttara for managing this program well and Reshma Ramachandran for her creative efforts. And again, NISARGA, College Union of Martha Theophilus College, the group, they deserve a round of applause for conducting such an informative webinar. Thank you, Subin, Alina, Nikhil, and all other members. Last but not the least, my dear classmates, you are the pillars of our program. Without you, this function would have not attained this much attention. So thank you all for joining this webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you to all. I'm very, very happy to meet all of you. Thank you, GB ma'am. Thank you, Benedict sir. My mind goes back to 1996 to 99, that period. Very, very nostalgic. So I'm there. You can ask me for any help through GB ma'am. So wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
So
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right, GB ma'am.
Actually, we would like
Endu?
actually we would like to have more talks like this in the future. I really mean
would
it by
like to
saying that.
talk to you on gender. It's something very. We'll talk
Actually,
about
ma'am,
it later, ma'am.
I don't know if you would believe that or not. We, in our personal group, discussed that just before you have said we should call a talk from ma'am regarding gender.
We will.
We thought of the
That is
same
my
thing.
mission. We will do that.
Yes,
We'll do that.
of course.
Thank
We
you,
would
ma'am.
love to do that.
So can I leave, ma'am? I just need to
Okay.
go out just before it turns
Okay,
8.
ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
I'll
very
call
much.
you.
Well done.
Thank you, Uttara. Thank you, all of you. Good
Thank
luck.
you, ma'am. Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you all. Thank you.